I had decorated the sitting room in a muted style meant to soothe the most anxious patient, with a portrait of Victoria Regina over the mantel and a marble bust of Admiral Nelson on a plinth by the door. The chairs were a compromise between Victorian rigour and modern indulgence. A patient might sit back in them, but never wallow. The articulated human skeleton hanging in the surgery gave some ladies palpitations, but it had been a gift from Holmes upon his retirement. I would not part with it. It was evident when Pickering appeared on the threshold that he had not haunted Wimpole Street for any great length of time. My years with Sherlock Holmes have taught me some few things about reading people. He was still brown as a walnut from his years in the southern sun. He still sported an erect, regimental bearing. Yet there was also that mild diffidence about him that Westerners sometimes pick up from the Hindu native, a certain philosophical equanimity. "Wobbly!" he cried upon seeing me. "Pixie," I returned. Our old regimental nicknames, which I had long since forgotten, leapt unbidden to my mind. We shook hands warmly. I offered him a chair, a cigar, and a brandy in that order, and soon we were knee-deep in misremembrance of our gallant youth. There was a great deal of "remember old what's-his-name," and "when was it that droll thing happened?" But we pushed on through the gaps with the best will possible. Eventually we ran out of halcyon days to memorialize. Pickering's brow clouded over. He set down his brandy and extinguished his cigar. "I'm looking for a fellow, Wobbly. A sort of human bloodhound, I've been told he is. And more, I've been told he's your particular friend." The allusion was obvious. "You mean Sherlock Holmes?" "Sherlock Holmes! That's just the fellow. You do know him, then?" Here lay further proof that Pickering had not long been stranded upon the shores of Albion. He was barely familiar with the name of Sherlock Holmes, and wholly ignorant of my role in chronicling the great detective's exploits. "You're not in any sort of trouble, are you, Pixie?" I asked. "Oh, bless me, no." The corners of his mouth dipped. "At least I don't think so. But I've come up against a sort of a puzzle, or enigma, or whatever. Damnedest thing. Could you introduce me to this fellow Holmes, do you think?" "I'm afraid Mr. Holmes has long since retired from detective work." Pickering's face creased in disappointment. "Perhaps I can be of help," I suggested. "I worked with Holmes hand in glove for many long years. I don't claim to share his natural gifts, but I'm as familiar with his methods as any man on earth." Pickering brightened. "I'll be glad to tell you the story, old fellow. If you can squeeze anything out of it, you're a marvel." Storytelling is thirsty work, and so is listening. I poured us both another bumper of brandy. He launched into his story, the tale of a distinguished phonetician, a girl of the streets, and a singular wager. It was indeed one of the strangest problems I have ever encountered, and I will admit without compunction that I could make nothing of it at all. I confessed it unabashedly. Pickering put on a stoic face. "Well, I can't say I'm surprised, Wobbly. It's a preposterous tale on the face of it." "It is indeed, my friend. So much so that I would have called the fellow who told it me a fabulist or a madman, were it not solid old Pickering. But in its very absurdity is its allure. I think even the great Sherlock Holmes would agree with that assessment." "You mean you'll take my problem to him? By Jove, that's capital." Pickering's excitement was infectious. "I'll do you one better. I'll take you down to meet him, and let you plead your case in person." Pickering clapped his hands upon his thighs. "Better still! Where can we find the fellow?" "He has a villa down in Sussex, near Eastbourne. We can take the train from Victoria tomorrow. I'll wire him to let him know we're coming." I had surrendered to the demands of the modern age a few years ago, and had a telephone installed. Holmes had not. Pickering